Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Football United TV, brand new show. Football United Airways.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your co-pilot, Marley Chillin speaking. We know that the YouTube channel is a client's preference, so we thank you for flying Football United Airways. Today, we're going to be going to Spain and Portugal, so sit back, relax, fasten your seatbelt, and enjoy your flight.
Brilliant. Perfect, Monsieur. Perfect. Chris, how are you doing there, mate?
I'm doing well, man. We're going to talk about something not about England for once.
And I'm glad to be a part of this. And I've also got my Football United TV shirt on just to wrap it up. And where are we going to start off then? Obviously, La Liga. And it's very tight up there at the moment, isn't it, in the league? What are you making, Charlie? Let's start with you, mate. What are you thinking of La Liga so far?
I'm very disappointed in Atletico. This season, it really did look like it was theirs for the taking, right? And for a long time, they looked like the big favorites to win it. But now, Barcelona's 1 point behind them. You can't really say that it's Atletico's anymore. It's quite tight. I don't know, man. I don't know. When Messi gets to the final stages, he usually grows a little bit too. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting. You always like to see someone that's not Real Madrid or Barcelona winning, right? Because it's a little tiring. But I'm not sure it's going to be happening this season anymore.
What about you, Chris, mate? What are you thinking about La Liga?
I've been watching La Liga for quite a bit of time, like right now the season. What my thoughts are, I think I expected the decline for Atletico because I've been watching their games and they haven't been playing great. They've been scraping by. They've gotten these 1-0s where they have one good goal. Suarez has been carrying that team because I think Simeone tactics aren't working right now because they aren't creating many chances. And they've lost so many unnecessary points because they lost to Alaves last in the league. I think I'm not sure when it was, but they have. So they're very inconsistent now. And the league is open now because Barca are 1 point behind.
And you could argue right now, actually, that Atletico does have maybe not the best squad, but they might have the best team out of the three. When you talk about starting lineup, their team, Atletico's team looks quite good. They have João. What?
Exactly, I'll tell you why. Because Real Madrid have been facing so many injuries. They have Sergio Ramos out. Varane got COVID today. They have no fit starting centre backs.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, Suarez coming from Barcelona to Atletico. I mean, do you think Barcelona regret that? I mean, he is the top goal scorer as well, right?
I think he's second. I think Messi's first.
Or he has been, hasn't he, this season? He's done very well.
Mm-hmm. He's been Atleti's top scorer as well.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I think Barcelona made a big mistake because I think Koeman didn't want Suarez for some reason. And what Barca have been missing for quite a while, if you remember in the first few weeks of La Liga, when Messi wasn't at his peak in the season right now he has 23 goals. When Messi wasn't firing, they didn't have a good finisher, and which Suarez he's been ripping up the La Liga, and I think they made a mistake, in my opinion.
You can understand it, right? Barcelona's an aging squad. Most of the better players are getting up there, so I understood kind of the logic behind it, but then again, they knew they didn't have a lot of funds, so maybe it wasn't the right time to get rid of Suarez, who's still he's not the same Suarez. He was once for a long time, in my opinion. Suarez and Lewandowski were the standouts number 9 in the world. Lewandowski's quite ahead of Suarez nowadays, but he's still one of the best strikers in the world. And Barcelona's been a mess, mate. I'd honestly put my money in them right now because, they have a little dude called Leo Messi there, but I don't know. They've been messing up royally in transfer windows lately.
Talking about Barcelona themselves, I think they don't have a natural striker right now, except for
Yeah.
Martin Braithwaite. But
Yeah.
I'll tell you why things are looking up for Barcelona, because I think Koeman started using a new tactic, which they railroaded Sociedad 6-1. They've been using that tactic ever since, and that's using Frankie De Jong as a ball playing defender as a central centre back in a 3-4-2-1, which seems to be working perfectly because I think they're unbeaten using that formation.
Oh wow, yeah, I just looked at the formation. Yeah, it's interesting. Okay.
Exactly. And Frankie De Jong actually looks so good at centre back somehow, because I've been watching the games. He actually looks good at centre back. He's such a talented player.
Chris, was he playing centre back for Barcelona in the Champions League this season?
No. He's naturally a midfielder. Frankie De Jong. He's a natural. You can call him a CDM or maybe a box to box at best. But De Jong is key to that Barca team. He's been the standout player other than Messi this season.
Yeah, I was looking at as well. Rao Sociedad were top of the league at one stage this season. They've done pretty well. They've also won the Copa del Rey from last year, and David Silva's a part of that, which is pretty cool. It's their first trophy since 1987, so that's cool, right? And Atletico Bilbao won a cup this season as well, didn't they? They won one of the cups, correct?
Yeah. A fun fact about Atletico Bilbao: they only sign Basque players, which is basically a region in Spain. They don't have any other players at the club.
Yeah, Chris.
Just players from Basque.
I've been to the stadium many a times. That's my team in Spain. They're the ones I support, like 100%. I like that about Athletic Bilbao. You know, the fact that they do use Basque players. Some people think it's controversial, but I think
a little bit. Yeah.
It brings, because it is a sort of country in its own way. It has that feel, same as Catalonia. You know what I mean? So it's nice to see that they're trying to bring up players. You know, Ander Herrera came from Bilbao, you know, to United, you know, and I like, you know.
Yeah, Bilbao have some great talent. I think they have one of the best up and coming.
Came from there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have one of the best up and coming people, Unai Simon. I think. Yeah, he plays for Bilbao. He's very good. He is definitely going to move to a bigger team.
Right. Thank you, Steven. Big up.
Yeah,
the thing, like, it's not, for me, if I was a Bilbao fan, it's not as much about being controversial, because I do like, I appreciate the local pride as well, right? That's pretty cool. But it's just that they usually have really good sides. They tend to find great players from the Basque region, and imagine if they didn't limit themselves to that, they could actually challenge, right?
Exactly.
They could actually like aim higher, because they have good players. Iñaki Williams, a really good striker. I like him. He's fast. They have a lot of talent there. They usually have a lot of talent there. And if they maintain this stance to keep the team mostly Basque, you know, but go out and buy a couple of players. Buy a Brazilian, buy an Argentinian player, just mix it up a little bit. Maybe they could challenge. But it is cool that they're the only famous team that does it exactly like this, right?
And then talking about Sociedad as well, they're also in the Basque region, I believe, and they have some great players.
Yeah.
Spurs fan. That's a team that was titleless for longer than you. Not anymore, though.
Why do you have to back the Spurs? They have two great talents, in my opinion, Sociedad. They have Alexander Isaac, or Isaac, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he is going to be a top player one day. He is very good.
He is.
And Aiirways. Fun fact about Aiirways, I think, I'm not sure how many games he's played for the club. He's only 23, and he's made like around more than 200 appearances.
Oh wow.
He's been playing at the club since 19. He's almost 200 appearances.
He's highly sought after, right? Like he's got a market value of around like 70 million. There's a bunch of big teams after him. Yeah.
People
in addition
really
to these
don't
two,
know about him.
Isaac, by the way, he was once considered one of the most promising players in the world. I don't know if you guys remember that. He went to Borussia Dortmund for that. Didn't really work out. Yeah. I watched the game against United, and a lot of people were like, yeah, I mean, he was a little. People said he was disappointing, and I watched some Arsenal fans, like thinking about him as a replacement for our strikers, but then saying he couldn't get it done. But I thought it was so impressive against you guys, like his speed. I know, like he didn't score, but I thought it was good. He's really impressive.
I mean, that's the thing people don't understand about young players is that they might not have the best like goals, assists, but you've got a player there who will develop into a beast because Isaac is only 21 and he has so much more room to grow. I think Orba started like developing around to like a very good top class striker around the age of 24.
Yeah.
Or 25.
Yeah, he was a late bloomer.
Exactly.
He only got good at Saint-Etienne. He wasn't that good at Milan, all the places he was before.
And then he changed into a complete beast when he went to Dortmund under Klopp.
Yeah. He went to Dortmund to replace Lewandowski. I don't know if you guys remember that, but Lewandowski went to Bayern and they brought Aubameyang to replace him. But when talking about Real Sociedad, I mean, these two youngsters are really, really promising players that should have great careers. But they also have Nacho Monreal and David Silva, right? Two OGs of the game.
They have Januzaj. You remember the United guy?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Adnan Januzaj.
But How old is he now?
Go on, Chris.
I think Januzaj is he's 24, 25, something around that.
He feels like he should be about 35, like,
right?
America.
Wait, let me check. He's 26, Januzaj.
Oh, there you go.
Time.
That's what happens when you start playing at 4.
Jesus.
Look, one of the most underrated midfielders in Europe is in Sociedad, Mikel Merino. If you guys watch the United game, you should know how he. Unlucky. I think Sociedad got the tactics wrong in the first game, but in the second game, Merino controlled that midfield. In the second leg, which was 0-0, but he's
really good,
very good.
I like Sevilla doing quite well also this season. They beat Atletico Madrid at the weekend 1-0. What are your thoughts on them? I mean, they're amazing run in the Europa League as well. Like how many times they've won it? I think they've won it the most out of any club.
They have such amazing players, like upcoming players, like En-Nesyri, the Moroccan striker. If you know who he is a beast. He is so good. I think West Ham wanted him in the January, but Sevilla in the transfer market, they're one of these clubs who don't sell in January. So we could potentially see him in the Premier League as well.
He's one of the highest scorers of the league.
Seb Aller went to Ajax. So they wanted a replacement. Nesyri has 15 goals and he scored a Champions League hat-trick as well.
What are you eating, Talk? Tell us what you got for dinner, mate. You've always got nice as well. He's always
Talk him you join the stream, you know.
Is that a common expression in Britain? Eating tea, because that confused the crap out of me.
Yeah, he's not eating like bags of tea. Don't worry. Yeah, he's not. Okay. No, like you're going for tea. Yeah, you're having tea. Bangers and mash. There you go. Look, straight up. That's a proper Salford thing to be having, isn't it? That bangers and mash. Proper mank thing, man. On Talk.
Sevilla's a great side that like they've been almost there for so long now. They have a couple of really interesting players. Diego Carlos, a really good center back, Brazilian center back, should be featuring in the national team soon enough. A lot of teams wanted him as well. He's had a pretty cool career. Fun fact about him, he once got a red card from he was running. I think he played in France back then. He was just running back to defend like a center back should do. But, tiny little Raf just was on his path. He didn't see the ref. The ref fell from the contact. He tried to kick Diego Carlos and gave him a red card
Oh,
afterwards.
what?
That was before VAR days. But one thing I find really interesting in Sevilla is Jesus Navas playing as a right back. He's the captain now. He's had a career as a winger. I think his career is a little underwhelming when I think about his potential. I thought he was going to be a better player than he actually ended up being. But in Sevilla as a right back, he's their leader. And Sevilla's in fourth right now. They're the best of the rest. They usually are.
Oh, Jesus, talking about Jesus Navas himself, has had an amazing season at the age of 35. I think he's 6 assists from right back.
Oh wow. Yeah. There you go.
That's like Trent numbers.
That is
Trent last season, right? Because this season I don't think he has this much.
No, Trent last season had 13.
Okay, that's more impressive.
yeah.
This
So,
season he has 4.
guys, like, what are you making of the end of the season? Then, what do you think will happen in the La Liga? Do you think that Atletico Madrid are going to do it? No, and not only that, seeing as you're here, Chris, and you support Liverpool as well, maybe we should talk a little bit about the game tonight, because I know you're a little bit squeaky bum at the moment.
Yeah, talking about that game now I think we're gonna have much even game now. I think Atleti don't have the first choice centre backs. We don't have our first choice centre backs. Atleti have not Atleti,
Yeah,
Real
Real.
Madrid. My bad.
Yeah. You think Real
You,
Madrid, like, because they're not having a great season, like we've said, when they
I
kind of
mean,
could win.
they've turned around form. I think they're unbeaten in the last 13 games.
Mm.
But now since they've been plagued with injuries, now it's going to be a very close game, in my opinion. But I'm really scared. I really want to win.
I think right now Liverpool's team is much better. I mean, they haven't been playing that well, other than massacring my team last weekend. But Liverpool's squad, Liverpool's team, the starting lineup is miles better than Real Madrid. Real Madrid's one of those teams, like, unless they're playing, United, Chelsea, Spurs, I'm usually supporting the opponent. I don't want Real Madrid to be winning ever because they win too much. Like, they won 3 Champions League in a row. That's annoying. But right now, I'm just praying that they do well. Because I want Zinedine Zidane to stay there, and I want Odegaard to stay where he is right now. And the way things are going, I don't think Zidane's going to be staying at Real Madrid.
So, guys, just
up.
comment here from Lindsay. Shouts out to you, mate. Everybody, if you're here right now, please do press the like
Can
button.
I just address that comment for 1 second?
Yeah, I was going to. Hang on. Just please do subscribe,
Yes,
and
subscribe, like the stream,
absolutely.
do everything.
First one, Chris. It's our first one, Chris. We got to get people on this one. Yeah. So, did you want to address that, Chris?
Yeah, the thing about the Al-Nassr thing, I don't understand why West Ham would want Al-Nassr, because if you see they have Antonio right now, right? So basically they have these like big physical strikers, and Al-Nassr is not that. He's one of those quick players who gets in behind the defense and he has very good finishing as well. So I don't know why West Ham want him, but I think and Nasri is a very good talent. You know what? He could potentially replace Aubameyang as well if Arsenal want him.
I'd want. I mean, I like the player, but if we're replacing Oba, I'd like someone with a little bigger. But I don't necessarily agree with you on the West Ham comment there. I forget, like, who's the direct replacement of Antonio when he doesn't play.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember now, because I think it's good for a team to have 2 very different styles of strikers.
Yeah, I think I see what you mean, but I don't. Thinking about big physical strikers, who would you say is a big physical striker and could potentially go to West Ham?
But why do you think, like, if they have Antonio, who's a good big physical striker, why do you think they should go for one with that style though? I feel like they should go for someone different,
Yeah, fair
right?
point. But
Yeah.
yeah, it would be interesting to see how Moyes fits him in a system if Nasri goes there.
Yeah.
There are 6 of you right now in the room. Go hit the like, subscribe. Please help us out. We're near to 500 now. I think I'm maybe 20 away. Guys, yeah. So, did we get onto the fact, the answer of like what you guys think will happen in the league at the end of the season?
Oh. I think the top four is mostly gonna stay how it is, but I think Barcelona and Atletico are gonna change positions. So Barcelona, Atletico, Real, Sevilla. That's my bet.
Sorry, I've got this look. I've got this light right here in my face. Can you see it? Look.
Yeah, Matty can't help but shine, guys. It's just
It's the blinds, you know. Because I thought, we're talking La Liga. I just put the Spanish blinds up, but it ain't working. Maybe we should should we hop, skip, and a jump over to Portugal on this flight right now?
Well, I wanna hear like one or two things more from CP. Like, what are his predictions?
Yes, go for it. Yes, yes.
My predictions are I'm a huge Messi. I love Messi and I love Barca as well. I want to see him win the league this year. So since I'm a Barca fan, I want Messi to win.
Okay, that's what you want, but what do you think's gonna happen? Like, what's your top four?
The top four, I agree with you. It's definitely going to be the same because Real Betis, the closest in fifth, is like I think they're 10 points behind, 12 points behind Sevilla. So I don't think that's changing anytime soon.
Oh,
so
yeah,
what
12
I
points.
think maybe Sevilla can push for a third place finish. That's if Real Madrid have a bad run of games, which could happen because they have injuries. Other than that, I don't see it changing. Maybe and Barcelona could win it. Or you never know, Atleti might pick up form.
And since like you're like the most outside of the mainstream guy I've ever met in the world of football. So are there players in like more random teams that you think we should keep an eye on? I'm sorry if I'm putting you on the spot. It's just
There's so many good talents in the La Liga which people don't know about. If
Yeah.
Mark Cucurella, I've been watching the guy in the Euro under 21s. The man is he's going to reach places. I really like him a lot. He's an absolute baller. And then I think Kubo, I think he's on loan from Madrid though.
Yeah.
Or does but he is a very good player as well.
The
They
Japanese
are
Messi.
The Japanese Messi, yeah, nice.
the Japanese. And then
If anybody has a comment about La Liga or the
Primeira Liga.
Sorry, I think Charlie should have said that actually.
It's easy. I mean, Primeira Liga, but for you guys, why don't you say Liga Nós? Liga Nós.
Because I didn't know
easier,
that.
right?
All right, Liga Nós. There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Nós.
Nós. I think that they say the S like I do from Rio.
Yeah,
Liga Nós.
Nós is not a good word in England, Charlie.
What?
The word Nós. Let's not carry on with that. Let's continue.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll explain to you later. So we're going into Portugal now. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we should talk about more of the youngsters in La Liga because there are so many.
You got more.
Like it.
You got more. Like I was
obviously that doesn't.
I was like,
you think the Premier League is the only league that can produce good youngsters?
Absolutely not. Well, we're doing this right, but you
keep going, CP. Keep going. I know the two players you mentioned, so keep going.
Oh yes, then there's Bryan Gil. He's on loan from Sevilla. I think he's a key player in Sevilla's future. He's doing well on loan at Eibar.
I think Arsenal's been. I mean, we're linked to everyone, but I mean,
Arsenal is linked with every single person on the planet. So,
but I know Bryan Gil, yeah.
And then I think Hugo Guillemán from Valencia is very good. He's like he replaced Parejo from the regular midfielders for Valencia. So that just speaks how good he is. And so basically, Valencia are having a bad season though overall.
Oh, they're broke.
They're broke.
Yeah.
I
Did you
think
guys
I
talk,
think
did you guys talk about Gerard Moreno for Villarreal?
Not yet.
Oh no,
not
yeah, I'm
yet.
sorry, yeah. I was gonna say like he's done quite well, isn't he, this season?
He's good.
Gerard Moreno he's been a very consistent player. He's one of those very consistent players who does provide goals. That's what I like about him. He's basically that striker who can. He's definitely going to get 12 to 15 goals a season
Yeah.
if you Gerard Moreno. But Villarreal is I not Villarreal. I mean Valencia. They're having a shit season.
Yeah, they don't seem to
It's
be doing too great.
They
yeah.
lost most of their decent players, right? And like their captain and best player in Parejo, he went to Villarreal for free, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they
Carlos Soler is the only like shining like player.
yeah.
Fun fact:
So
Soler scored a hat trick of penalties against Madrid this season.
okay. So, I mean,
And then I think people know
Matt knows
about
what that feels like.
Diego Linez, the Mexican. If I think he's a very known player.
That one
Well,
doesn't ring a bell.
he's also a very good player, but he's not had the best of his seasons. But I think he can develop into something big.
Well, Benzema's not done too bad either, really. You know, he's like been pushed aside out of the media limelight of ever going anywhere else other than finishing his career at Real Madrid. But he's scored a good 18 goals in 25 games. That's really not bad.
I think he was voted player of the month in La Liga last month, and I think he scored 8 in the last 6 games in La Liga. Like
You got
he's been killing it.
you got Marcos Llorente as well, who's fairly old.
Wait,
He is
what?
fairly old, isn't he?
Llorente's old? Llorente's not old,
No, he's in his mid-20s. Sorry, right?
but
Yeah.
that's an Atletico player, right? You're talking about?
Yeah, beg your pudding. It's not the Llorente I was thinking. He's done all right. He's got 9 goals, 8 assists, 25.
Marcos Llorente is 26.
Yeah, Marcos Llorente. That's people have to give a lot of props to Simeone because he joined Atletico to be a DM, and
Yeah,
Simeone
and
eventually played him
put up some great stats.
as a cam or maybe even a wide player every now and then, and it works out well.
I
He's
I
good.
mean, as a Liverpool fan, I hate Marcos Llorente, but he is a very good player.
Yeah, he's really good, really good. I like him
He
better as
won
a
my
cam, but
hopes.
he even plays on the sides. Like it
He
doesn't
can
make a whole.
play. He's basically a very versatile player.
Yeah,
And then another youngster is Sergio Gomez. I think he's on. Is he on loan from Borussia? Yeah, he's on loan from Borussia. He's been on loan for the past 2 seasons.
Yeah, how's he doing?
Huesca. He's been doing well. I think he's been very good, and I think he could break into the Borussia Dortmund first team later on because a lot of players seem like they're going to leave Dortmund.
yeah.
Yeah. What are Dortmund going to... I don't even want to go... We won't talk about the German league. I was going to say, what did Dortmund do there? No. Actually, what does La Liga do? Like, looking with the coronavirus and all that, and the fact that there might be trouble with players being sold as well, is the Liga going to get stronger, or do you think it's going to get weaker, like from this summer? Just in your opinion, what do you think's going to happen?
Call it. But I think La Liga will be back. They have one of the best The Spanish fans are crazy for their clubs. They love their teams, and I think with the fans going back to the stadiums are going to be packed. So I think the La Liga will overall be a better place financially. I think so, in my opinion. It can only get better.
By
I
you,
mean,
Chuck.
I'm not that big a fan of La Liga. There are leagues that I like better than it, but it's considered the second best league in the world. And right now, it's going through like a rebuilding stage when you're talking about the two biggest clubs. But I think they stand to gain a lot from Brexit, mate. When that happens, when England has less and less international players, the tendency is that most of them are going to be heading to Spain.
I mean,
So
Mali, Mali, you're technically factually wrong there.
you
It's the
think so?
best league in the world according to the UEFA coefficients.
Oh, maybe so, but I think worldwide it's regarded as the second best, mate.
I mean,
Just
in
the
my
amount of
opinion, the Premier League is kind of like overhyped. In my opinion, you remember when West Brom beat Chelsea and Joe Cole said that uh, yeah, Tuchel is introduced to Premier League. Anyone can beat anyone, but that's the case in any league in the world. Like, did you see Lille beat PSG? Lille
I don't
are
know, Chris.
significantly.
I think it'd be a bit closer. Like I think in the Premier League, like especially over the years, if you look consistently, like Real Madrid,
Exactly.
Barcelona, Juventus,
no, it
they're
is closer. It
dominating.
is closer.
You got Leicester's, you got Man City's, you got Chelsea's, you got Liverpool's now, and hopefully Man United could get back in there. We know Tottenham won't. So, but yeah, like Premier League, like you said, I think the Liga is underrated. Definitely.
And if you see in the Champions League, most of the now I know that most of the Spanish teams are knocked out, but you don't see they usually perform better than most other leagues in the Champions League.
Maybe
They
to
do. Yeah.
maybe guys, just to finish up on the La Liga, just to finish off with, and it will probably last a little bit longer just from this one question. Do you think it's time for Messi to go, leave Barcelona, or is he going to stay until the very end? Because I'm hearing rumor about Inter Miami and very, very big interest of David Beckham already talking to him and stuff like that. So, do you think it's time to go for him out of the Champions League? Maybe not winning the La Liga this year. No
As
cup
as
to win.
a as a Barca fan and a huge Messi fan, I don't think he's leaving. I think most of these rumors were before Laporta became president, and Laporta seems like he really wants to keep Messi, and I think Messi will stay, and I want him to stay because I want him to be that one man club kind of guy. I don't want him to see. I
Like a
don't want
Pulse
him to
goals,
leave.
yeah, Chris? You agree with that?
Yeah, something like that. I don't want him to ruin his legacy by going somewhere else.
I'm glad you said Paul Scholes and not Steven Gerrard. You could have said Steven Gerrard.
Steven Gerrard went to LA Galaxy.
Oh yeah, but that was a holiday, wasn't it? He was only there for 1 year.
Yeah, he just
I
collected
mean,
some wages.
when players leave Europe, I don't even consider them as not being one club players anymore. Like if Totti finished his career at like in the US, no one would say he's not like the Roma player, you know. And it's not like Messi can actually ruin his legacy. I think he'd have to blow up the stadium to do that, mate. I don't
Not
think leaving.
completely, but I would love to see him stay. That's what. I just want him
Yeah,
to
me too.
have that farewell at the stadium.
And if
That's
I'm
his
being
last.
honest, I like that he only played for Barcelona, but just to my previous argument, I would love to see him play in Argentina. Just 1 or 2 seasons. I don't
Or
think it's
maybe
ever gonna
maybe
happen.
Noel's old boys. That's all. I think maybe Noel's in Argentina. I
Is
think
that?
that.
I think he grew up supporting Estudiantes.
No, but his dream was to. I think he wants to play at Noel's because I think Maradona played there.
Oh, then why not Boca? That doesn't make.
No, but I think somewhere in Argentina. But I think that I wouldn't mind that because recently who's that footballer who went back to Brazil to his boyhood club from Europe?
Ronaldinho, you had Carlos Tevez go back to Boca Juniors, didn't you, as well?
Ronaldinho
No,
never
this
played for
player
his
like
boyhood
he
club
took very
though.
less wages from his boyhood club as well.
I thought
forgot the
Santos
guy.
might have been the club that he always wanted to play for, and he went back to.
Ronaldinho never played. Ronaldinho never played in Santos.
Never.
No. Ronaldinho's a Grêmio academy player. Then had his career in Europe. When he came back to Brazil, he played in Flamengo first. Then he went to Atletico Mineiro. That's where he shined in Brazil. He was voted the best player in the continent once. Then I think he went to Mexico.
Fluminense, I think. He finished
Yeah,
his...
he went to Querétaro in Mexico. Then he came back to Brazil and played for Fluminense, my favorite club. But he sucked.
I should have never shouted that out like with you around. I never should have shouted that out. I got that completely wrong there.
He did play for a Brazilian team.
I remember
a couple months back he was playing in Paraguay.
Right, I did remember seeing him playing in black and white, and I was just going on maybe that he might have played for Santos. If I was I would have played.
I think Atletico Mineiro plays in black and white, so it's easily mistaken.
See, I'm halfway there. If you are in the stream right now and you're watching, please do smash the like and subscribe. We are going on to the Portuguese League now. Charlie, why don't you kick it off for us, mate, right now? Fasten your seatbelts, everybody. This is going to get a bit bumpy because first time on this ride. Let's go.
All right, yeah. Wait.
Wait. I'm going to add talking as well. Talk, how you doing?
I'm not too bad. How are you doing, folks? Yo, Charlie.
How are you, man?
Good to see you.
Maskinada. That's it. That's the one.
Ooh, how's life in Mars, mate? How's life in Mars?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I drank my tea. And ate my food. That's what I probably should have said. I know that it sounds confusing when I read it back. You know what I mean?
PG.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't advise that.
Because in Brazilian Portuguese at least, we say eat coffee because coffee is also the expression we use for breakfast. So I thought it could be something similar to that. That's
okay.
But yeah, well, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed your stay in Spain. Now we just landed in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to kick it off for us. Tell us about the temperature, the weather, maybe more about the players and the clubs. That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna do that, make it.
Wow, that sounded like it crashed, bro. I don't want.
It was a tough landing, but everyone survived. Well, I don't know what the weather is like in Portugal right now. I'm assuming it's hotter than it is right there. Cousin, how are you, my man?
If you fancy coming in, Anthony, we're talking about the Portuguese League. If you know anything and you have a trick up your sleeve about the league or anything that you want to talk about, then please do come in.
Anthony turned 14 a couple of days ago, so if you haven't wished him a happy birthday, go ahead and do that. What was I gonna say? Okay, so it's exciting what's happening in Portugal right now because it seems like Sporting is gonna be winning. They're I think they're like 8 points ahead. I'm gonna double check that right now, but
they're actually 9 points ahead.
There you go. There you go,
Chris.
So, last time they won, and by the way, they're massive. Don't you? Yeah, it was 01-02 last time they won. And that was also the last time that a team that wasn't Benfica or Porto won. So, it's just good.
They formed the big three in Portugal. Sporting, Porto, and Benfica. Yes.
Oh yeah, it's something crazy. Like Benfica's at 30+ titles. I think Porto is like high 20s and Sporting's like 21 or something. And the next one is probably at 2 or 3. They're really massive.
Benfica have like probably one of the most legendary players of all time, don't they? Eusebio, that was something back in the day. Benfica were very tough to play against.
But Sporting have one of the best players which nobody know about, and his name is my man, one of my favorite legends of the game. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but Molly, can you correct me? His name is Fernando Petroyo, something like that. I'll give you one of his most interesting stats.
Write the name in the chat and I'll say it because I'm not sure what you tried to say right now.
Wait, if you have the name, Peyropeo.
Write
A little
it
slower.
write it in the chat. Write it in the chat, and then you can.
Right.
You know
the
what?
chat.
I'll just tell the
I
stats
think-
because it's insane.
I think
He's played 180 games, around 180 games, and he scored 300 goals.
What, he's still playing right now? He's not a legend.
No, he's a very old, very
Right.
pre World War II era. He's a legend of the
Oh
game.
wow, yeah.
Did
He's
he
not
play against people?
Yeah, he
That's
did.
a lot of goals.
You know another interesting thing. He has the most amount of goals in 3 consecutive matches, 16.
Wait, he scored 16 consecutive games?
No, he scored 16 goals in 3 matches.
Oh, okay.
Whoa,
Well,
it's a lot of goals.
And
I
then
mean, some strong defending from the opposition, I'm sure.
yeah.
But
and in his 12 seasons in Portugal, in football, he scored more goals than he's played games. And to put that into perspective, Ronaldo has scored more goals in 6 seasons out of his 17.
Jeez, mental.
yeah,
Pe-
crazy.
But people don't really know who he is. He's one of the big. He was one of the biggest. He's the most prolific goal scorer in football history. Maybe Joseph Bican was ahead. I'm not sure about that though.
So
There's a couple out there.
who's doing very well for Sporting right now? Why are they top of the table for the first time in 20 years?
Wait, you
Pedro
moved on from Eusebio too fast, mate.
Oh,
You
did
can't
I?
just mention one of the best players in history and just move on?
Yeah, I did, because I mentioned Eusebio and no one even said anything
No,
about
That's what I
it.
was
just-
going to say.
See,
CP Come on.
CP made a left and he didn't stop going. Now we got to get back to the mainstream, talk about Eusebio, mate, because Eusebio and Pelé back in the 60s and 70s, that's pretty much that, like the old version of Messi and Ronaldo. It was, I mean, Pelé.
It was the first like rivalry. Like it's like I think the second one was Zico versus Platini in the 70s.
Zico and Platini were a very serious rivalry too. But yeah, man, Eusebio was. You guys remember when Steven had Cristiano Oliveira in his stream? I was like going crazy that I couldn't be on that stream to ask him about Eusebio because he's definitely
he
the
did
best
speak
player.
about him.
Hmm?
I know a lot about Eusebio himself.
Yeah,
he carried Benfica. Not only him and Bela Gutmann. He was the Hungarian coach. He and Eusebio made Benfica one of the most dangerous teams in Europe. In the I think Real Madrid at the time, they won 5 Champions Leagues around that time in the 50s. And Benfica beat them in the finals. And that was one of the biggest upsets in European history.
Yeah, I mean they played each other more than once, but I'm pretty sure Eusebio has managed to beat Pele's Santos as well, which back in the day was most likely the best team in the world. When you think about the fact that most of the Brazilian national team played there. Yeah. And he took Portugal to the semifinals of the World Cup back in 1966, which didn't happen again until 2006, so 40 years.
Yeah, and fun fact. I think I told this on the channel. Do you know about the Bela Gutmann curse?
I think you've mentioned it, but I forget.
Oh, okay. Basically, this is what happened. Bela Gutmann, he won them 2 UCLs, and ever since, because I think he wanted extra wages because of his obviously amazing performances, and the board denied it. And apparently, he cursed Benfica for some 100 years. I don't think that they won't ever win anything in Europe ever again. And guess what's happened after that? They haven't won. They've bottled everything. They were in 2 UCL finals after in the 60s itself. I think one got a red. They lost one because of a red card, and one due to injury of someone. And back in the day, they were substitutions. so they couldn't do anything. And then, if you know, they were in the Europa League finals in 2013, and they lost to a 93rd minute Ivanovic. Who was it? Someone's header, and they won the game. They lost in the last minute, and Chelsea played shit that day. They've been in 9 European finals without wins, so that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
And apparently, in the 1980s, when they were in some final, Eusebio went to Bela Gutmann's grave in Vienna. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. What was that noise?
It was me cracking my back, I'm pretty sure.
So yeah, like, what do you think of like Porto as well, guys? They got a good history as well. Like Jose Mourinho winning them the Champions League as well. Like it's an impressive stadium as well. Have you ever been anyone? Like very cool. Bobby Robson was there as well. Shouts out to him. Brilliant manager. What are you making of their season so far?
Porto have in the league. I don't think they've been doing too well, but I think in the Champions League, obviously they're doing amazing. They're doing well above expectations.
Yeah.
In the league, I think they're
Well, they've won four of the last 5. They've won 4 of the last 5 games, drawn 1.
Yeah, but you would expect a team like Porto to win the league, not Sporting. But Sporting have not to take any credit away from Sporting. They've been doing amazing.
So with Champions League like qualifications, because I guess that's all you're fighting for, then, isn't it? What is it? Is it of course like Sporting Lisbon will get Champions League? They're well ahead, but you got Benfica, Braga, and Porto sort of around similar points.
I'll explain because
Champions League or
this is how the league Champions League qualifiers go. They have won the first 2 spots. They go directly to the group stages, and the 3rd spot is a Champions League qualifier.
Okay.
I mean, if you look at Porto, they've got in the top scorers. They've got 2 of their players, Taremi and Oliveira, in the top 4.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Scorers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how many points are they behind? I'm just having a look again. So
they're eight.
They're in second,
exactly behind.
8 points behind, yeah.
It's still chaseable.
I don't think so. Talking about Sporting now.
To Man United
I have to talk about Sporting though.
Yeah.
They have been so impressive. They have a new coach. I think his name is Ruben Amorim.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is his like first year in management. No, second year in management of a big club. I think last year he was at Braga, and they are unbeaten this season. They haven't lost a single game.
Wow.
They've drawn 5, won everything else. He's one of Europe's best up-and-coming coaches. He's only 36. People talk about Nagelsmann, all these young coaches, but no one talks about Ruben Amorim. He's done an amazing job at Sporting. They've not been title contenders for 20 years, so he's definitely had a positive impact.
Yeah. And they just sold a player to Zenit Russia, who's a player I'm very fond of, another Fluminense Academy player called Wendell, who's really talented. I didn't understand why they got rid of him, but apparently it worked out. They weren't fighting for titles before he left.
If you are new in the stream, please do hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm trying to shout that out as much as I can. There's 5 people in the room. If you could, that means so much to us. This is our first time doing the show. Chris Ball, kick it away.
Oh, and talking about one of the best youngsters in Europe, Pedro, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I'll just butcher it. It doesn't matter. Gonçalves?
Gonçalves.
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 Wrong.
He He has been so good this season. I would really want to. If he goes to a, I hope he goes to a top 5 league one day. I really want to watch him. He has scored 15 goals this season from 6.56 xg. That means like how much goals he's expected to score from his shots he's taken. He's outperformed his xg by 8. He's been so good this season. I can't wait to watch him in actual in like a top league in the world. He's going to thrive.
And he's a CM, right?
No, he can play. He can play in midfield, but I think this season he's been playing as a winger, mostly a winger.
Okay. You know, he's a Wolves Academy player.
Wait, I'm not sure about that.
No, he didn't have all of his youth time at Wolves, but he started his professional career at Wolves.
Yeah, I just saw he was a
Yeah, I did
Wolves
not.
player.
Guys, before everyone makes the mistake of thinking I'm smart, I did not know that. I just looked at it. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I've got
I just
the league here. Look here. I should have put this up for the Liga. Sorry, but I just.
Oh,
well,
I just
Wolves missed out on a baller. I don't think he made a national team appearance. And
Who's
talking
that?
about the youth of Portugal, they have some insane players coming up.
They do.
They look like favorites for the Euro under 21s. If recently they went unbeaten in their group. They won every single game, and they played the likes of England, Croatia as well. Well, England did nothing in that tournament, but
True.
Portugal's growing, man. Like from I'm not sure how they did from the Eusebio times all the way to the early 2000s, but like 21st century has been very kind to Portuguese football. They've had Luis Figo, one of the best midfielders I've ever seen, as well. They have Cristiano Ronaldo, an amazing player. Deco, who's not really Portuguese, he's Brazilian, but amazing midfielder as well. They've been having some good players, and now it seems that this batch seems to be very impressive, and players are coming up fast. I feel a little bad for Cristiano Ronaldo because he might miss out on a really good generation.
I mean, Cristiano Ronaldo played in a Portuguese generation that was really dry of talent. But now there's so many upcoming. Trincao from Barca, Fabio Vieira is also there, and then Wolves Academy also have some very good young players as well. So they're missing out.
I think it's a little harsh to say his generation's dry of talent. They've had some good players, but
They
now
have
the
had
generation.
good players, but they haven't had a team that's been. If you look at Portugal now, this is one of the best Portuguese teams that have been like assembled in recent history.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll win the Euros because Fernando Santos is not that he's not been great.
I just had a thought. What is it? I was trying to think there. What is it? I mean, you've got a team there like Porto with their players, and then someone like Liverpool or Manchester City, and you go, you know what? Okay, you've got 11 men. You've got 11 men. What is it? What is it that makes Manchester City just have that edge? Because when it comes down to it, skill. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Skill. No, one second. Well, yeah, but skill is like an asset in football. It's all right. You know, it's like, yeah, go on, you can do fancy stuff, but you don't necessarily need loads of skill in football. For me, it is the decision making and the timing. Decision making and timing. That's what makes the difference. You don't, you get individual players where they will have their skill that can get them a little out of trouble. But on a whole, I would say it's more about decision making and timing, and not like you ever mentioned, Pep. This is when we were talking to America, like we were talking to the guy from America about the American national team, about the mentality and everything else around that. So, because at the end of the day, it's not like, I don't know, would you put like the Manchester City players like miles and miles and miles above like Porto's players? You can't. You can't. It's going to be slight differences. If you look at the
talk, man. Porto just knocked out Juventus on their home turf.
yeah. Well, no, this is what I'm saying. I mean, it's just
the best player in the world at Juventus. They just knocked him off. Like that,
Yeah.
You can't underestimate people like from a so far level. I don't think. Like
no.
It's 11 versus 11. You see it in the FA Cup as well. Like you'd see underdog teams sometimes just savage teams above them. Like you can do it. It is mentality. A lot of mentality in football.
That's it, and it's that decision making and timing that is you understand better once you're underneath a coach who has got it nailed.
And I mean, I hate to say it, but like it was like Tottenham versus Ajax. It was that mentality of, do you know what I mean? And the final meant more to Tottenham than it did Ajax because Ajax have already been there. But yeah, with the Portuguese teams, yeah, man, like it's desire, and I think Sporting have realised this year they actually can do something about it. Porto are looking at Champions League right now. I think that's their main strategy, isn't it? To try and win that. They could do exactly what Tottenham did, get to the final, maybe lose. They'll probably play Man City or Bayern Munich or whatever, and yeah. But I hope Porto do well. I've got a Porto back there.
I'm pretty sure the last like truly surprising champion was Porto. I don't think we've had like as surprising.
2005 Liverpool. They don't belong anywhere near that Champions League.
No, I mean, but still, it's Liverpool. It's the biggest winner in England.
Yeah, we are a big team, but we beat a Milan, which had like world class player in almost every position.
I know. Kaká's Milan.
What I was just saying there, Chris, is like the mentality of the Premier League. If you take that into another game where you've got a little bit more time to make your decisions and use your timing well, then you can have a bit of an advantage, surely.
I'll tell you why Man City. You're comparing Man City. They have 11 versus 11. First of all, they have one of the best tacticians in the world, Pep Guardiola. Tactical nous is the first point. Then the second thing is they have players who can change the game itself. They have, I mean, obviously the other 11, they're not like way below them, but they have. City have those world class players like who have the technical ability to change games. For example, Kevin De Bruyne. Have you seen his range of passes? It's unpredictable. He can literally pass anywhere on the ground.
That's decision making, Chris. That's what I was getting at. He makes that decision. He can read the game. He sees it, and he makes the decision.
Exactly. It's a mix of decisions and technical ability.
Talking about Charlie.
Yeah,
I just wanted to ask you, Charlie, because I just remembered something. Angel Gomez scored, didn't he, the other night? At Man United. What do you make of that?
Yeah.
And looking at this list of players, everybody, like, Ricardo Quaresma, is that the original Ricardo Quaresma? Are you crazy?
Yeah, that's the same guy, the very same.
How old is he now? He's at Victoria, isn't he?
He's about 49.
No, I don't think he's that old, mate. Quaresma, I think he must be about 36.
Yo, he's 37. I'm actually quite close.
You remember Quaresma?
That's a 36.
Quaresma is the biggest example about how you can be very talented, but you need the mentality and the hard work to reach the big leagues. If you see around the same time Quaresma and Ronaldo played in the beginning of their career, both of them were regarded to have almost the same potential.
Yeah.
Quaresma himself said, if I worked hard at his time, I think he was at a big club. I forgot which club was it. And
Has he played in big clubs before?
Yeah.
Been at a few big clubs. Yeah, he has. I think
he's I remember. It's Barcelona. He was at Barcelona, and then he said that he was impatient. That he wasn't getting into the starting 11. So he went to Porto. He himself said that if I had a bit of patience, and I actually waited for my chance to get into the first team, I would have been one of the best players in the world.
Well, he played for Barcelona, Inter, and Chelsea. So yeah, he's played in a couple of good teams actually.
There are 5 people in the chat. Please do hit the like and subscribe. We are one away from reaching 480 subscribers. We want to get to 500 very soon. And thank you, everybody, for your support so much on this first very vlog of Football United Airways. It's going very good. Look, guys, we've got a list here as well of players here. Anyone you're noticing that are doing very well? These seem to be the people that they're picking out on the Primeira Liga that are doing very well. And let me
Everton Suarez there.
Yo, CP, there are 2 Brazilians in the list. Let me talk about the 2.
Oh, okay, my bad. Okay, I'll talk about the Portuguese guys.
Can you see the arrow?
What?
Can you see an arrow?
See the arrow. Yeah.
Cool. Show me where to point out. Who are you going for, Charlie?
I'm going for Darwin Núñez first, the Benfica guy.
Oh yeah, Darwin Núñez is good.
He is a Portuguese wonder kid. That man is going to go places. He is very good. I really hope he does something in his career, because he is like, he's a 20. I think he's very tall as well. He's relatively tall, around 188 centimeters. His movement in the team is perfect. Like, he's a very intelligent footballer, and he's very versatile as well. And he would probably fit in Atletico Madrid system more than João Felix as well, because João Felix doesn't fit in Atletico system. Darwin Núñez as well. I've been watching him for a long time, even from his days before Benfica as well. He's a player to watch.
Oh, he started at Peñarol. Yeah, that's
Peñarol.
Uruguay's history.
Yeah, I've been watching. I think that's the same club where Facundo Pelastri came from, for a United perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie, he's a good striker. I've seen a couple of games. I've seen him in Uruguay as well. Like, he's supposed, because the 2 huge strikers of Uruguay are getting pretty old, right? Cavani and Luis Suarez. So
I think he is the future.
Yeah.
Also, sorry to interrupt everyone, but Charlie, I have some very good news for you. Fabrizio Romano just tweeted out there are huge chances for Hector Bellerin to leave Arsenal in the summer. So you can celebrate.
Thank you. That brightens my day.
Well, maybe
I wish him all the best in the future.
Maybe we should end off on that note. Do you reckon, guys? Are we good?
I mean, I was looking at the little selection you showed me, and there were 2.
I want Charlie to talk about Everton, the former German player.
Let's go.
I don't know how to pronounce names.
Gremio.
We'll do another 13 more minutes. Let's go for it, mate, and then we'll switch it off, because Champions League tonight, innit? We got to go and watch.
Of course. Well, I'll get you Everton. He's most likely the best Brazilian in Portugal. I think it's hard to say otherwise. But before then, I'll talk about Lucas Verissimo, because he just got to Portugal. He just played Arsenal as well. Like, I think his first or second game for Benfica was against Arsenal. He did well, actually. He was a defender for Santos. Yeah, Santos. Voted one of the best CBs in the country. Did very well last season. Santos relies very heavily on their academy, because historically it might be the best academy in the world. So just impressive. Benfica's really good at finding talent in Brazil. Same example with Everton. But Everton was very famous already. Like, he'd started a couple of games for Brazil already. Lucas Verissimo was really a find. He's not that famous. I haven't seen that many games, but he's a very solid defender. Quite fast for a defender as well.
Talking about Verissimo, I think Cristiano mentioned him, the Portuguese journalist. Like, how it was one of his first games in Benfica against Arsenal, and all the Benfica fans were surprised that he started, but he played very well.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Arsenal's attacking players have been doing too well, but yeah, he did well, held himself well. Everton Suarez, mate, he's really talented. He's really talented. When he was one of the 2 million players to be linked with Arsenal, I wasn't that excited. I don't think he's that good. I don't think he's someone that would have changed my team, But for the Portuguese league, for Brazil before then, he's really good. Typical Brazilian player, guys. Like he's quite fast, very skillful. Loves playing on the left wing, just cutting inside and shooting. Has some like Felipe Coutinho similarities, although he can't play centrally like Coutinho can. One thing that should be said is there was a winger at Grêmio that sort of arrived at the team to replace Everton, but then Everton ended up staying for another season or two. And I think he's going to be just as good or better, called Pepe. But Everton, I think he's got very solid numbers as well. CP can probably help me out here. I think he's gotten like a couple of assists. He's one of the
Oh,
leaders.
Everton. Cristiano told me that Everton this season has been pretty well, but people expected more. I think he's had 3 goals. 3 goals, I think. Three
Yeah.
goals and 7 assists in around like 20 games. Let
Yeah.
me check that.
That's not fantastic, right? It's good, but it's not fantastic.
Yeah, they expected
Uh,
more because he was a big expectations when he arrived.
I don't think he's a full-on starter yet. I think there's a solid rotation there with Jorge Jesus at Benfica.
Hmm.
He just arrived and brought in a bunch of different players to a
He
team
went
that
for a
wasn't
big
that
fee
bad.
as well, Everton Suarez. I think he went for around 30 million. That's a very big fee for like
Oh yeah.
Portuguese clubs.
Oh yeah. Who else is in there? Mateus Uribe, I know him as well. I think he's Colombian, but he used to play for Flamengo. He did He didn't do anything for Flamengo, but I know that in Mexico beforehand he was a really good striker. I'm assuming he's not doing too well right now, though. He's like one level below.
Is
We have
Otamendi back at Benfica?
Yeah,
Yeah. It was a swap deal with Ruben Diaz 60 mil and Otamendi.
And Jan Vertonghen, defender at
Yeah, he
Benfica. What a
left
great defense
Spurs.
they
yeah.
Also, Matt,
Otamendi's the
uh,
player with the most yellow cards in the league right now,
Matt, I
as
wanted
it
to ask you a
stands.
question. Angel Gomez, he was very highly regarded in the United Academy. Why?
Yeah.
What do you think after they sold him? Are
I
you
think he's on loan.
upset?
I think he's on loan.
No. They sold him to Lille, and
No,
he's
he's
on
not.
loan in the Portuguese league. They sold him to
Yeah.
Lille
Oh,
He's at Boavista now, isn't he?
on loan.
Yeah. Well, that just tells you everything, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I don't think he was good. I don't think he was good enough to be at Man United, but he
No.
played all right
No.
sometimes. He wasn't really given his chances. I do look at it like that as well sometimes. But I think with a player like him, I'd like to see how he does. But
He's
look
going
at
to do very well at Lille because Lille have one of the best youth coaches to develop youth. They are one of the best. They've
you look
turned
at
around Renato Sanchez's entire career around. Lille.
you look at Odegaard. He's been around and he's doing well. He's at a bigger club than he has been since Madrid, right? That's the biggest move that he's probably had to be able to be on the main stage, and he's doing okay at Arsenal. If that could happen, the same with him. Do you know what I mean, Gomez? Like that definitely could. Like you
yeah.
got
Those are two different levels of expectations, though, mate. Odegaard was regarded as like one of the best young players in the world. I don't think Angel Gomez was ever that.
no, but I think he could reform. That's what I mean. Is like when you're going
I
around
think he
different.
could be like Renato Sanchez. You remember when he was he was excited. He won the Golden Boy award as
Yeah.
well, but he got his big move to Bayern, underperformed, underwhelmed. He went to Swansea, made him. He was the biggest meme. I felt bad for the kid. Uh, and then he went back to Lille, and he's completely changed his career around. He's
Oh, he's
been
been
one of the
great.
best midfielders for a team that's on top of Ligue 1, above
Yeah.
PSG. So that has
But
to mean something.
when you're comparing the two, you mean you're talking about potential, right? Because you're not similar
Yeah,
players.
potential.
Okay.
They're not similar. Yeah. I think it's just the fact that when you've been slid off by the club that you're meant to be at, Gomez was meant to be a Man United player. He was going to get in the first team. He was going to be their player, same as Odegaard. And they've had to move on. They've had to do different things, and they've had to regenerate themselves on the market, haven't they? And
it's one of two things, right? With players like at Man United: application and talent. If you're not showing either of those two things, then you can't play everybody. You can't give everybody to the end of time to show that they're going to play. Application for me is a big thing. If you're not doing that correctly in that environment, then you're not going to be given the opportunities, because that's the.
I think he was one of your youngest players since Duncan Edwards. Angel Gomez.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, the legend that was and that is Duncan Edwards was. I mean, my dad watched Duncan Edwards, and he's like 80 odd, and he says to me whenever I ask him about him, and he'll say, "Listen." He says it with such conviction. He says, "You talk about your Lionel Messi and your Cristiano Ronaldo's, George Best, everybody else." He said, "Roll all them together and put them into one player," and that was Duncan Edwards. He could do everything and anything with the greatest of ease you can imagine.
Charlie,
yeah.
There are 7 people watching. Can they hit the like and subscribe button for us, please? Pilot, help me out here. Direct this flight right into landing.
We need one more person to get to some 480 for Matt and Charlie. Do the business.
All right, yeah. So 21 away from 500. I like that. By the way, cousin, yeah, I don't like Coates that much. Didn't think he was that good at Liverpool. I think he does all right. Yeah.
He played like 10 to 15 games.
Yeah. I think he does okay he's at Sporting, right? And I think he's decent at Uruguay as well, but I think he's rather slow. I think he's too slow for present football. Just top football nowadays is a little too fast for him. Sorry, like, were you looking for a final statement or something, Matt? I feel put on the
land to everybody that is tuning in. Please do subscribe, share, like what you can, and Charlie will advise you on that too. And we've got a special guest coming in, Charlie. That's why I wanted to get your attention, because here he is, and we will pop off the share screen right about now.
Who is this dude? I don't recognize him.
Oh, you know me, right? Arteta's lawyer.
Arteta's best.
We don't know. We only know who Arteta is.
Can we not speak about Arteta?
I'm sorry. After yesterday's performance,
Saturday's
performance,
Stephen, Arteta is a retired Spanish footballer. That's all it is. And that's all it is.
We don't know who he is. I hate him now.
We're not talking about him.
We want to ask you, Stephen, who's your favourite Portuguese player of all time?
Not Ronaldo, please. It's way too common. Anyone except Ronaldo.
Okay.
Second.
Luis Figo.
Luis Figo. That's a good one. That's a good shout. Eusebio.
Whilst you're thinking, please do hit the like, hit subscribe.
Eusebio is a good one. He was a quality player.
Eusebio is good. Please hit the like.
You know what? We'll end the stream by asking who everybody's favorite Portuguese player from history is.
That's what I'm doing now.
Portuguese and Spanish, right? We got to do both.
I'd have to say Eusebio because it's such a legendary name.
Okay, that's fair enough, Stephen. But can you give us a name of a player you've seen as well? Like you've seen
Luis Figo.
Luis Figo. Okay,
some of the things he did for Real Madrid was just. I'd love to have him at Arsenal.
Did you say? Sorry, Charlie. Did Did you say because I liked Deco as well? I thought Deco was a great player.
Deco's a good one,
He's Brazilian.
He's Brazilian,
born,
yeah.
But he chose to play for Portugal.
Yeah. Deco's actually like he came from Corinthians, which is one of the biggest clubs in Brazil. But I don't think he ever played professionally. He was sold to a smaller Portuguese side when he was really young, or maybe even to Porto, but the B team. And he just blew up from there and became a Portuguese man as well, and started playing for the national team. Just like Pepe, the center back, he's also Brazilian.
All right,
Pepe, yeah.
You're right. Well, I mean, they're both great players. I mean, I did like. I remember in he played in at least. Did he play in about 2 World Cups, Deco, and a European Championships?
Deco, I'm assuming he must have played more than 2, mate. He probably played in 3.
Yeah. I think because I remember watching him like more than once in a World Cup, and I always used to like watching Deco. He was a really good player.
And he won it all for Porto. He didn't win it all for Portugal, but he did okay in Portugal. He won it all in Barcelona. I'm not sure he won the Champions League with Chelsea, but I know he won the league. And in his Fluminense days, when he played in Fluminense, he retired in Fluminense. He won the Brazilian league, and he was immense. What's happening to Steven?
He's having he does this now and again. He gets a bit of a tickle, and
He doesn't agree with you.
No, I agree with you entirely. I agree.
I just say, milk and curtains in Stephen's household don't mix well.
Sharp.
Why are you? Please explain, mate. I'm so confused.
We're joking. Everybody in the spring.
It's because Anthony was going about Arteta Feetly, and I was like, "You're wrong." Read the hashtag.
That was all it was. Everybody that's tuning in, please. We're at 480 right now. We have hit that mark. We want to get to 500. We want to get there. If you are there, press the like, subscribe. And we are going around everybody's favourite Portuguese and Spanish player. Just to end off, we got 13 minutes left before the Champions League games start. Where were we at? Was it Charlie hasn't said? Because you said Stephen, right? You said Eusebio.
I said Sabio, but if it was one I've seen, Luis Figo for me. But make sure you to share it as well, because sharing it gets more subscribers in. Trust me, I've noticed that.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for joining in. Charlie, who's your favourite?
Oh, so you're going everyone's Portuguese, then everyone's Spanish.
Yeah, we'll go first because we might talk about it. See, it's get conflicted.
Deco,
Portuguese,
like by a landslide. Yeah, Deco, like he won the league with my club. He just had a brilliant touch, mate. I think people forget about him a little bit because there were a lot of great midfielders in his time. He played with the likes of Xavi, Iniesta. He played with Seedorf. Yeah. But I think he's one of the best CMs I've ever seen. Like his vision, the quality of his passing was just mind blowing, mate. Mm-hmm. And in Fluminense, he was injured quite often, but I've never seen him play less than phenomenally. Whenever he played, he just made stuff happen.
Did he go to Chelsea at one point?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't remember how good he was at Chelsea. I think he won the Premier League.
I think it was more towards the end of his career, to be honest.
It was. Yeah, his highlights were definitely Porto and Barcelona.
Mm.
By the way, Deco and Ronaldinho were pretty much Messi's parents in Barcelona.
Oh, right.
They got him started. Yeah.
How about you, Chris Paul?
For me, it's between Fernando Chalana, the old Benfica player, or Petro, the guy I mentioned before. And current, who I've seen the best Portuguese player, I'm not sure, because it has to be Ronaldo, because I haven't seen anyone better than him.
Yeah, I'm going to clear it up to say Ronaldo. For me, talk MU. Who's your favourite Portuguese player? We'll get around to Spanish and then we'll finish it.
I don't want to go. I can't. I mean, that Ronaldo shouldn't even be in it. To be fair, because he's in
It's
space, mate. We're talking about players here that are on the ground.
City.
So all the players that are on the ground, for me, I would have to agree with Charlie. It's Deco. I think Deco, because like I say, I've watched him many times in World Cups and stuff, and I always enjoy watching him because, like you say, Charlie, his touch, his vision, his passing, and the things that he could do was just great to see. So no, I would go for Deco. Yeah,
that's one of the players that I'm so sad that he didn't become a manager, because his footballing IQ was just so high. And I agree with you. I don't think Cristiano Ronaldo is from Portugal. I think he's from Krypton. Like he's just a different kind of beast. Sorry, Maddie, go ahead.
So sorry, mate. I was just going straight into Spanish players as well. Stephen, who's your favourite Spanish player of all time?
Oh, Ariana Grande. He's gonna say Ariana Grande now.
She ain't Spanish.
Hey.
She's better than fucking some Arteta managers.
Don't say Arteta. Whatever you do, Stephen.
The best footballer of all time, better than Xavi, better than Iniesta, Arteta.
I've never seen Matt laugh so hard.
I mean, Steven has to be Arteta. He's carried your team. He's better than Fabregas. He's one of the best.
Whoa! Hold the phone.
I'm joking. Calm down. I'm not dumb.
It's a shame. It's a shame. Robert Perez wasn't actually Spanish. He has a Spanish second name, like in a sense, you know.
Yeah,
So who are you going to get?
I think Steven would say Fabregas.
Yeah. There isn't anybody else really, is there?
There's Iniesta or Fabregas for me. But I'd say Fabregas because he was at Arsenal. Like he was there as a kid. Like
he's one of the things. When he went Vieira went to Juventus and then he came back and played us, tore him apart, and it was the last sort of proper captain that we had at this club. Even broke his leg to take a penalty against Barcelona. Like, for me, it's Fabregas to me. Like, for me,
Charlie,
as much as you went to Barcelona and that.
Yeah, true. I mean, I was thinking for a minute, like, oh man, this is hard. A lot of good Spanish players, but it's actually not. Like, there's one guy that I was clearly a bigger fan than any other Spanish players ever. David Villa, man. David Villa. I was a huge fan of his. In the World Cup that Spain won, a lot of people talk about Iniesta, but that up until the quarterfinals, David Villa had scored every single goal they scored in that World Cup. He was just immense. I mean, Matt and Takim, you were about 65, so I don't know if they play FIFA, but man, that guy's finesse shot. When playing FIFA, his finesse shot was just incredible, man. You could shoot from anywhere and that guy would score. And in real life, it was pretty similar to that too. He could have done more in his career, man. He only played in Barcelona when you're talking about big clubs. He played a long time in Valencia, which fair enough. Like it was a good era of Valencia, right? Because they had David Silva and Mata along with him. But he could have done some damage in England if he tried, maybe in Italy. He could have had a fuller career. But I love the guy, man. I love him.
What about you, Chris? Favorite Spanish all time?
It has to be Iniesta. It can't be anyone else because I've actually watched Iniesta on like most like other players, like other former Spanish legends, but Iniesta is just he's a magician. He could pass anywhere on the pitch. He is one of the best midfielders of all time, in my opinion.
What about you, Talk?
Well, there's one, and I'm going to take this in a different direction, which is one that's played for Spain, in Spain, and in England at two clubs. And it's Torres. Fernando Torres.
Oh, I forgot about Torres.
The goal count from all his escapades. you know, it was just we can't El Nino. We can't. Is it El Nino?
It is El Nino. Yeah, it's El Nino.
You can't discredit him and what he did in the Premier League. In the Premier League, I know he didn't have the greatest of times at Chelsea, but what was going on there, I have no idea. But it was a strange.
I mean,
time
he
for him,
did win the
really
Champions
was.
League there, so that's fine.
Yeah, but he had a strange time, didn't he, when he went on that extremely barren run? He just could not. If they would have left the goal open and given him the ball at the halfway line, he couldn't have put the ball in. It was like as if there was like some kind of like force field in front of the net, and he just couldn't put it in the net. It was strange.
Do you know who mine is?
Go on,
Go
Matt.
ahead.
Fernando Hierro.
Oh
Yeah.
Going a little older there.
He was like a Sculsy for me, like when I was younger. Him and
Raul is also another
Raul,
good shout.
yeah.
Raul, great, yeah.
I was never a fan of Raul's, but he scored a lot of goals.
Mm.
I love Pep Guardiola. I had the original Barcelona shirt from 1990, and I had him and Ronald Koeman on the back. Like I had two kits. I was a full kit wanker for both players, Ronald Koeman and Pep Guardiola.
Your normal self.
No, I don't do full kit wankers anymore. It's PJ bottoms and
Oh, just for after. That's when I always see you. It's always like that, man. I didn't mean the full
Well, I
kit
guess
bit.
it's time for Champions League
I just meant the
football.
W bit.
it is time for Champions League football. We all want to go and
Yes.
watch. Surely we do. But before we do, everybody that's in the room watching right now, please hit subscribe. Like I've said that like a dozen of times. I'm so sorry, but we want to get to 500 very soon. But before we do that, we want to do the most important thing that the channel is about is spreading awareness of who is on and where you can go and find them. Stephen, first, where can we find you, bro?
You can find me on SVT TV. No, it's not actually. It's supposed to be hashtag Arteta out, but some people annoy me. Yeah, you can find me on SVT TV. Do Arsenal football and F1 content. And yeah, we should. If Fabrizio's not on tomorrow, he's definitely on at another point. It's just something with other technicalities, but he'll definitely be on.
Another guest, Stephen, coming on, haven't we?
Yes, we've got another guest coming on Monday at 6 p.m. We've got the ex-Premier League, Mark Halsey, doing a review for us.
Gets in.
So
That's a ref and a half, mate.
Big
That's
up
what you
to
call
Matt
it, ref.
for doing that for us. Yes, we had the Slavia Prague coach on earlier, and he'll be back next week for another preview. But yeah, hit the subscribe button for this channel, but also my channel. We are 168 away from 1,000. Get it done.
Close. I see it. I see it creeping up every day. I'm looking. I'm like, another one, another 5. Oh,
It's like,
But you know,
20 there.
Steven, you know the day Steven said on that other stream, he hit like 800 subscribers in like one day, less than that, like half a day. From
don't ask
780.
me. I don't know. I didn't.
I was the one who told you got 800 subs.
Charlie Hibbert.
What did Charlie
I'm
say?
gonna clip that.
I have no idea.
I'm gonna clip it.
What did he
I
say?
missed it. I missed it.
They have Tom, we have Mark Halsey.
Halsey.
Beef between two channels here. I'm not involved in it.
So yeah, you can find me at iTalkMU on Twitter. You can find me on SVT TV. You can find me on Football United TV. And Steve, and if you go on to Stephen, if you're on Stephen's, not the next stream after that, but the one after that live, you'll see Stephen's face when I send him the bill for the thumbnails and stuff. I didn't want to say anything, but I thought I'll break the news now. It's quite a hefty bill.
Bill.
Is that Bill? Who's Bill? No, not
Who's
Bill.
Bill?
I'm joking, mate. I'm joking.
Charlie, where can we find
know?
you from? apart from being my my co-owner of the channel.
All right. Well, since you've thrown it out there, now I'm a co-owner here at Football United TV, so you can find me here very frequently. You can find me at Steven's channel as Featly TV. You can find me in his nightmares, where I sing duets with Arteta to haunt his dreams. And
plays with Ariana, mate.
and you know, after overdosing on fish and chips, I'm trying to go more international. So soon, CP and I are gonna be doing a podcast at the Blue Podcast as well. So stay tuned for that.
Sweet. And yeah, Chris Paul, you basically just told you what you're going to be doing, but tell us about you, Chris Paul. Where can we find you, mate?
I'm always on Steven's channel, always, and you can find me here every Monday on Football United TV, and and I'm gonna have a podcast with Charlie as well coming up.
I'm sorry, I was daydreaming about someone.
Arteta's in your dreams.
Yeah.
Right, we should probably wrap it up there then, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. That was the first time we've done this vlog. Next week, we're talking about Serie A and the Dutch Eredivisie. Very excited about this one. If you guys also want to come in, do your research on these two leagues. Doesn't take a day or two, really, just to have a little perspective on what you think about the league and stuff. And if anybody is watching that wants to indulge in it and join, please get in touch with me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, email, whatever. Guys, salute.
Share this away, guys. Airplane fuel is really expensive, so we need some support here. So share, like, subscribe, please. We're almost at 500, guys.
We are. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you again. It's going to be on I think maybe a Monday, right, Charlie? Now, right? Okay. And remember, Stephen's got Fabrizio Romano coming on S Featly TV this week, and also Mark Halsey, ex-Premier League referee.
Not this week, then it'll be definitely within the next week or two.
He's getting him on. So you keep him on. Stay safe, stay classy, and see you again soon. Enjoy the Champions League. Bye-bye.
Ciao.